Death is often spoken about in hushed tones, a subject that is feared, avoided, or wrapped in mystery. But today we are going to confront it head on, not with fear but with science. Hello and welcome, I'm Rajesh Arakh, and in today's detailed video I'll walk you through a fascinating and sometimes haunting story of what happens to the human body after death. From the very moment your heart stops to what your body goes in the hours, days, or even weeks afterward. This video is not meant to scare but to educate, because understanding death also helps us value life. The process of dying begins with the most critical moment, the cessation of cardiac function. When the heart stops beating, the blood circulation halts instantly. Within seconds, the oxygen stops reaching the brain and consciousness is lost. This is what we call the clinical death. If CPR or defibrillation is not administered within 4 to 6 minutes, the brain begins to suffer irreversible damage. At this point, if the person is not revived, the biological death begins. Within minutes, as cells are starved of oxygen, a process called autolysis starts. This is when the body begins to digest itself. The enzymes that are normally used to break down foods begins to break down your own tissues. The skin turns pale and bluish purple due to lack of oxygen, a condition that is known as Livor Mortis or post-mortem lividity. Blood pools into the lower part of the body due to gravity, giving the skin a marble appearance. Meanwhile, rigor mortis or the cooling of the body begins. The body's temperature drops down 1.5 degrees centigrade every hour, depending on the environment, until it reaches the room temperature. Within 2 to 6 hours, the body starts to stiffen, process called rigor mortis. This occurs as the calcium builds up in the muscle tissues, locking them in place. The stiffness often starts in the eyelids and jaw, then moves to the neck and other parts of the body. After about 12 to 24 hours, the rigor mortis reaches its peak and then gradually disappears within the next 48 hours as the body continues to decompose. Now begins a process that most of us only hear in crime shows or forensic documentaries. It's called putrefaction. This is where bacteria, primarily from your own gut, begin to break down tissues. These bacteria produces gas like methane and hydrogen sulfide, which causes the body to bloat. This stage is often accompanied by a foul odor and visible changes such as discoloration of the abdomen, skin, slippage, and fluid leakage. It is important to note that decomposition is a natural process and is influenced by several factors, such as temperature, humidity, the presence of insects, and whether the body is buried, embalmed, or exposed. In forensic medicine, these stages are crucial to determine the time since death, which is often called the post-mortem interval (PMI). Medical examiners and forensic experts look at the body's temperature, the degree of livor and rigor mortis, the stage of decomposition, and insect activity to determine the time of death. This information is crucial in criminal investigations, natural disasters, and unattended deaths. But the story of death does not end at the biological level. In many countries, including ours in India, death also triggers a series of legal and public health responses. A death certificate is issued, causes are recorded, and in some cases an autopsy is required. Public health systems use death data to track the outbreak of diseases, mortality trends, and health policies. In hospitals, the moment a patient dies, a protocol is activated. Families informed, the body is shifted, and records are updated. For healthcare workers, this moment is deeply emotional, especially when the death is sudden or unexpected. And for the family, it marks the beginning of grief, rituals, and closure. So why is it important to talk death in this way? Because death is not just an end, it is biological, medical, and societal event. Understanding death can make us better professionals, more empathetic caregivers, and more grounded human beings. It also reminds us of the emergency skills such as CPR and basic life support, because sometimes if the response is quick enough, the death can be delayed or even reversed. In medical education, we are often taught how to save lives, but we must also learn how to handle death respectfully, responsibly, and rationally. Knowing the science behind it helps demystify it. It helps healthcare professionals to act more efficiently and help families making informed decisions such as organ donation, funeral planning, and autopsy. As we end this video, I urge you to reflect not with fear but with awareness. Share this knowledge, start conversations, ask questions, because when we understand death, we begin to understand the value of life itself. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more relevant, thoughtful, and deep videos like this. Let's keep learning together.